Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. This is our Beast Tamer Bard build, episode 273. And we decided to keep our power. Thank you very much, Iomade. Let's see what happens because of our choices. Oh, that's a great point. How could we have abandoned Ivu? Absolutely not an option, right? Perhaps I could have rejected this power, but how can I abandon my people and my dragon?
Your pride will destroy you, and perhaps all of Golarion with you. But I shall not intervene now, so as to avoid causing even more suffering to this world. Farewell.
She sounds real mad.
Another commander would have turned his army into a faceless war machine, but not you. Thanks to you, we gain one victory after another without losing touch with our humanity.
Hell yeah, Social.
It would have been so foolish for you to reject your powers. So many victories, so many achievements lie ahead for you.
Alright, I don't
Go
need
now.
your
Capture
sweet
Arilu and prove
words.
which of you is making the best use of her invention. I'll be watching you.
You getting all clean, Otis Botus? The Demon Lord blows you a kiss and disappears. Oh, they actually did the blow sound. That's cool. Alright, you know what? It's time for... It's time for a treat! You thought that you would go onto the legend path if you rejected your power, but you already had that choice to be on that path. Maybe you get more than one choice to pick that path. Maybe. I think you might get more than one choice to pick that path. I think it's also based off of whether or not you can pick a different path, right? I think you can always choose to just reject the powers of the other worlds, right? And only stay the legend. But I think this is kind of like your last hurrah at it. I don't think we will have another chance after this. Hey, Dresden's back, baby! Alright, Lippo Dippo. It's time. And Otis Babotis, I have not forgotten about you. Don't drop it. Alright, you didn't have to raptor it. You didn't have to raptor it, my boy Bean. My god, Ivu's so big in here now. Oh, also, we don't have our little friend over here, fucking early fucking morning sunrise or whatever the fuck their name was. Fucking Asmodeus. Hanging out, relaxing, lying. I'll kick his ass too. Wait, was it Asmodeus? I can't remember. Might have been like Belial. It was somebody. Grumbling under her breath, Anevia picks a burr from her clothes, wipes colorful alchemical goo off her sleeve, empties acorns out of her pockets, and shakes something that looks suspiciously like confetti out of her hair. Just look at this. You left the city at the mercy of the free crusaders, and see what they've done? I don't know if they're manning the defenses or rehearsing a circus act. I'm not really mad, of course. You all gave the demons such a thrashing, they probably haven't even come to yet. Irabeth would lose her mind if she could see what they've done to her beloved barracks. I'll need to be the first to see her and tell her everything. Ease her into it, you know? Prepare the ground, put things in perspective. Anevia smiles, either pleased at having banished the demons or imagining the reunion with her wife. It's good that you're not mad at me, Anevia. Wait, I mean, you see, that came out wrong. I didn't mean to say that I was the one who wrecked the barracks. Ivu looks so fucking cool now. Fucking massive ass fairy dragon. Did everyone make it through all right? Dresden's still standing. Kinda. Although who knows for how long. These crazies loose in the place. There's happy causing all around mayhem as they are thrashing demons. Glad to see that life has been restored in the city. Me too. Smell it in the air, even. Feels like spring already. Ivy turns her head and takes a decisive sniff. What's the situation at the front? Unknown. Her Majesty mustered all the troops she could, raised the Sword of Valor, and advanced on the demons. There's been no word from her since she left. Perhaps she's boldly taking Iz even now. It raining. It raining real hard. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Mama's gonna get you, boy. She gonna get you. Perhaps she's boldly taking Iz even now. Maybe her bones have already been picked clean by demons. We don't know. I doubt anybody except you will be able to find out. But that's not all. Baphomet's minions keep taking swipes at us. The scumbags are holed up somewhere at the Ivory Labyrinth, I'll bet. They keep opening portals in different spots, dropping off a dozen units and then closing the portal before we can get to them. We've lost more scouts than I care to admit before we figured out how they were pulling off that little trick. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you could get to one of those portals in time? Be ready for them somehow, so that when one opens, you get inside and crack some skulls. Might even be holding the poor Herald in there. If he's alive, you can free him. Yeah, sure, absolutely. How'd you feel after seeing the goddess in the flesh? My ears are still ringing from those trumpets. After witnessing that sight, I don't think I could be more surprised by anything ever again. That's fair. As you just heard, I have to catch Arilu. Any idea where I should look for her? Not especially. She's been roaming the Abyss all this time, and now that's avenue's closed to her. Nocticula and the other demon lords are all slavering for a piece of her. I think she's someplace around here in the Wound. A nasty little place like Iz, or maybe she went as far as Threshold. Okay. An entire army of demons enhanced by Nahindrian crystals was being sent here. It's being led by a demon named Mutasafin. You know anything about that? Scouts reported the movements of a large demon army far to the southwest of Dresden. We're marching across a dried-out lake. There used to be a Sarkorian holy place there, I heard, but where they went, nobody knows. They're not headed for us, that's for sure. At least not yet. For the report, I'll be setting off without delay. Good luck, Commander. Let's do what nobody else has managed. Take the demons back to the Abyss through the hugest rift you can find. Only, you know what? No matter what happens out there, make sure you come back. My gut tells me that soon Dresden will be playing host to weird and wonderful folks from all over the world. Somebody's got to be here to meet them. And sorry, but I don't want to be that somebody. Anevia smiles. Well, and somebody's got to show the regular Crusaders, not the free Crusaders, what springtime's like in the Worldwound. In other words, make sure you come back. Anevia hesitates, then adds a little sheepishly. And grab Irabeth and drag her back here with you if you find her, alright? Or else Desna only knows what'll happen to her out there. That's rude, Ivu. Are you finished talking about boring stuff now? Let's go and talk to our friends on the island. We need to see how they're doing and ask them if somebody showed up there. Somebody we last saw in the Abyss. And anyway, it's been a long time since Aranka gave me candy. We've got to go. It's important. What? Oh, did he? He's got awfully distressed. Fix it, Mama. Did you just put him and say do it again? Get out of here. You'd accuse me of kicking the poor boy if I did that.
It is time to talk. To decide where things stand.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I wanted to tell you that love
Oh,
and emotion
no!
is light, good. It is a blessing sent to us by Shaylin. And I would be happy to share this blessing with you, if you decide to share it with me. But please, do not impoverish this gift by sharing it among many.
Oh, this is where the game's like, all right, you've been a slut. You gotta choose. And I'm like, do I have to choose? Oh. The game's making me choose my romance options, mama. The second one? I actually do really like Dayron. He's probably my favorite of these three, but I'm not actively using him right now, so I'm not gonna pick him. He's off the table. Sorry to the Dayron lovers out there. He's amazing. But since I'm not actively using him in the party, I don't want him to be the one that I pick with this playthrough.
I'm sorry. I am a demon, and you are immortal. You would be better off without me. But I will always be grateful to you for those brief moments of closeness that we had, or might have had, between us.
Drama on the crusade. Noble companions fighting over the commander. I would be loath to distract you from weightier concerns, of course. But there are more than two partners in this dance, and we're beginning to step on one another's toes.
You had no idea I'd been flirting with Dayron? Must have been off stream every time that happened. It was really earlier on in the game, and we had... Honestly, it didn't feel like we had a lot of opportunities to do much of anything with Dayron in Alashanira, right? Or other places. I don't know if the game weights what interactions you get or what quests you get by which companions you spend more time with in your party, right? Because it did feel like in Alashanira it felt like we got way less for people who weren't in our party. I say that, but like we still got a lot for Greybor, we still got a lot for Woljif, we still got a fair amount for land, so maybe that's not true. It just felt like, so it didn't feel like we got really much of anything for Regil or Dayron. So that's why Dayron, I think, wasn't around very much. But prior to going to the Abyss, we did a bunch of Dayron quests, and we very much, like, he put roses all over the place. So yeah. Yeah. Shit. Well, I'm 999% sure that they're not gonna let me stick it out with multiple partners, right? Let's confirm. Do I really have to choose only one of you?
You must. Of course you must. Love is a sublime ideal bestowed upon two souls and no more. What are you suggesting? For me, it is unthinkable.
All this has already happened in my long life. A long existence full of filth and lust that I'm trying with all my might to break away from. No, my feelings for you are purer than that. Higher.
Okay, alright, y'all calm it down.
Why not choose only one? It's a fine opportunity to demonstrate your impeccable taste. On a more serious note, I see no reason why a heart should have room for only one. It is a pity that the others are not as open-minded as I.
And that's why I love you, Dayron. However, I do feel like he is a little, like, dishonest with that response. Okay, fuck. Like I said, we're not gonna pick Dayron, right? Because, damn. I had been curious, I had been potentially hopeful, right, that maybe we could get in good with Queen Galfrey, actually, right? Because I thought that would be interesting. However, I'm pretty sure, I have no idea if that is an option. Obviously, no spoilers, right? But I have no idea if that is an option. If it is an option, I would assume that you would have to get to a certain point in the game, i.e. maybe go find her again, and probably meet some conditions, one of which I would assume is not have settled down with someone else. So that's rough. Because that's the idea of I turn all three of them down on the off chance that maybe I can I can woo Queen Galfrey. But I don't even know if that's a possibility. So, Daeron's out. Love him to death, but Daeron's out because he's not a member of the active party. Arushale and Sociel, I both really, really like both of them. And I really like both of them from a mechanical standpoint and from a character standpoint. You wonder if it's possible to romance Sela? I don't know. I know it's not possible to romance all of the companions. But I don't know which ones are romanceable and which ones are not. So, unsure. Well, I say I know you can't romance all of the companions. I assume you can't romance all of the companions. But IDK. Sociel or Arushale? Sociel or Arushale? Fuck. I'm very conflicted for multiple different reasons. First of all, I'm heterosexual, so like from an attraction standpoint, I'm more attracted to Arushale. But it's also a video game, and I don't give a fuck about that situation, right? Also, I think Sociel is really, really cool, and I love the whole cleric of Shellen thing, and I love the I'm a little romantic in my heart of hearts, and I love the whole sappy poetry and painting vibe that Sociel has had going on. And I actually really connect with his the story of him trying to find his brother and kind of going down a little bit of a dark path for a while and being full of doubt, but then pulling himself back into things and really kind of feeling like he's grown as a person. On the flip side of that, Arushale also seemingly has a very interesting story, and is seemingly continually growing as well, and that's really, really cool. Fuck. I also feel like probably a lot of people pick Arushale because she's the succubus, so of course a lot of people do, right? Ay. Boo boo. You gotta help me choose. Do you want information or do you want to just randomly choose? One random unrelated fact. Unrelated. They're unrelated to each other fact? Okay. A terrible fact? Uncomparable fact. Uncomparable fact.
I'm way against each.
Oh, well, you can weigh anything against their...
Like all the same.
The first thing Sociel had me do was go to a funeral with him, where a shit ton of zombies...
Oh, that's all.
Okay.
I feel good.
I found Arushale in a prison, and she also basically imprisoned herself to keep herself away from me. Sociel it is. Oh god, this hurts. I don't want to say no to any of them. Sociel, please be with me. Oh god. But Arushale's dream world. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I'm vetoing your choice. I wanna see. Okay, here's the thing. I feel like Sociel's complete, right? We found Trevor. We went to the Abyss. We found his brother. But Arushale's still trying to dream her own dreams. She's still, and I don't know why I even asked. This is the true kicker. Arushula's whole thing is Desna. Our whole thing is Desna. We're Azada. I literally picked Desna as like my patron to fit in with the whole Azada theme. I just talked myself into it. We're doing Arushula. I need you. Oh, I don't know. I don't like that verbiage though. I need you and only you. Oh, I'd take it back. Please do not deny this love between us. What?
You,
All right, we're
you're
doing it
right.
anyways.
All right.
She's gonna kill me.
I will hold on to the light
She is
and warmth
still a
you give
succubus.
me. I'll hold on so tightly that no one will be able to pry it from my grasp.
Okay, that got creepy really quick. Oh, please. Both of you just vanish. Don't say anything to me. I do not need to hear your sorrowful, like, goodbyes.
I accept your choice. May Shaylin bless you.
No. No!
Well, have it your way. I wish you every happiness.
Darren flinches as if he's been struck, but he quickly regains his composure. The poison in his voice would be enough to wipe out the entire crusade. I hate that the game made me choose this way with all three of them here. Like, in a competition against one another. Oof. I hate that the game is... Okay, here's the thing about love. And here's the thing about relationships. The thing. A thing out of many, 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 many things. They should not be emotionally manipulative, condemning situations, right? I would not want to be in a relationship with anyone who actively put me into a ultimatum me or them scenario, right? Of course, this is a video game, and it's intentionally trying to emotionally manipulate you. But goddamn it, video game, I enjoyed the time I spent with all of these characters. How dare you try to make me feel bad about it? They could have, and I believe should have, just as easily had Darren and Sociel respond with something more along the lines of, I understand your decision, and I'm happy that we got to spend the time that we did together. You know? But no, they made it bad. Sadness hero. Regil looks slightly more tense than usual. Hey Jack, I have fairly important news. I will do my best to be brief. The Hell Knight orders have not reacted well to the developments I mentioned in my latest report, specifically regarding the true source of your power. The very notion that we have been cooperating with the weapon forged by Arilu, Vorlesh, and Nocticula has caused discontent. The orders have not issued any official edicts, but many chapters and high-ranking knights have been recalled from their assignments and barricaded themselves in one of our outposts. The one you know of, in fact. I suggest you go there and resolve the issue between the orders and the Crusaders. This is a matter of importance. What kind of reaction should I expect? For them to try to kill you? Any, up to and including a formal declaration of war, which is why you must go to the outpost and resolve the issue before it devolves into open conflict. Very well, I will go there as soon as possible. Excellent. That is all I had to report, so I will return to my duties and you may attend to your other affairs. See? She's got dream stuff still going on, and this is why I wanted to not break her heart. Although I'm sure we could have continued her dream stuff without being in a relationship. Kajak, The succubus gazes at you despondently. She always speaks quietly, but now her voice is a barely audible whisper. In my dream, a fire destroyed almost everything. The only thing that survived was a table. I've returned to my dream world so many times. The nightmares still lurk there. I want to understand why this table is so important. Why did it survive the fire? Can't figure out what makes it special. It looks like a simple piece of furniture. It just stands there. What is it supposed to mean? What am I doing wrong? Nightmare still attacking you? Not openly. It still lurks in the shadows, gnawing at my soul from within. Never leaves me alone. Hasn't tried to fight me again. Would you like to enter your dream again? I don't think that will help. We've already been there together, and no, there must be something else. I must look at it from a different side. But how do you find the other side of a dream? Where did this table come from? Where did it come from? Arushale considers your question. She taps her lips thoughtfully. I remember now. There was a loaf of bread on that table. That was Anevia's dream, remember? She said she wanted to learn how to bake. The bread went up in flames along with all the other fragments of her dreams, but the table remained. Perhaps this table represents something you were supposed to do in real life? You might be right. Arushale brightens considerably. But what exactly should I do? Find a table? Buy one? Perhaps I could learn to craft the craft of a carpenter and make one myself? So many possibilities, and I don't even know where to begin. Her excitement gives way to dismay. Perhaps Desna can help you solve this riddle? But she was the one who asked me to solve it. I don't think she's going to tell me the answer. I must find it myself. But how? This table came from Anevia's dream. Perhaps you should talk to her. I've been living among mortals for a while now, but there's still so much I don't understand about your kind. How you live, what you dream about. You're right, we should ask Anevia. It is part of her dream, after all. The table is there because it's waiting for another meal to be placed on it. I was gonna say something along the lines of like, Anevia didn't. This is my assumption. I'm assuming Anevia didn't say shit about a table, right? Anevia talked about the idea of baking bread. So Arushale dreamed of bread, but in doing so, she imagined a table to put the bread on because that made sense, right? And what she has failed to realize is the flame has consumed everyone else's dreams, all the things that she basically just picked up from conversations and put into her dream world, other people's inputs, right? They've all gone up in flames, but the table's stuck around because it's hers. She imagined a table to hold the bread because that's what you do. That's what your mind does, and that's what dreams are, is your mind imagining the world around you. Anyways, that's my suspicion, but who knows? That's a good idea, but which I think is going to be if I'm right? If I'm right, I think that is going to be one of those, it's working, right? Arushale is actively actually starting to go down that path, because part of the issue was she was just like, here's my dream world, but it's just an empty space where she's picking up and putting up other people's ideas. But if she's starting to imagine her own things in the dream world, then she's actually starting to dream. Could you please talk to her instead? I don't even know how to begin a conversation like this. It's so personal. Please ask her, and I will stay nearby. What the fuck? My god. How many people? Leotier Hawkblade, Commander. The Inquisitor greets you with a bow. I'm sincerely gladdened by your return, and I was delighted to hear of your recent victories. It is a shame that my duty has kept me away from the front line. I would like to take a place in the ranks of your crusaders. Perhaps I will still have a chance to do so, but before that happens, we must address another issue. I suppose you have already guessed what has brought me here. We parted ways after the discovery we made at Count Arenday's estate. You and I both know that the Count became a conduit for an unknown entity, which I call the Other. I retreated to Neurosian, then went beyond Meddev's borders, looking for mentions of such entities and ways to fight them. Now that my search has borne fruit, I am ready to tell you all about it. Why did your search take so long? Because we are dealing with a rare phenomenon, a true anomaly. The Mendev Inquisition has amassed substantial experience in fighting demons, but here we are up against something completely different. I had to trawl through our archives, searching for cases that seemed in any way similar. I sent inquiries to friendly temples and reached out beyond our nation's borders to experts on the unknown. It was dull and painstaking work, but it was necessary. What have you learned about the Other? I must be honest, I still don't know what it is. However, I managed to find some evidence of similar incidents. Individuals who, in a horrible moment in their life, became a gateway for an unknown entity. The most curious part is that all of these cases appear almost sequential. They happen in various corners of Golarion, but no two incidents ever occur at the same time. This leads me to think that we are dealing with a single entity, one that has been secretly present in our world for a long time, merely changing its gateways on occasion. While I do not know what this entity is, I managed to find something of great value. A Varisian arcanist managed to pick up the trail of the Other and invented a ritual to weaken and bind it. She died under very suspicious circumstances. Her decapitated body was found in her laboratory. Her head was never found. But her notes survived, including the description of the ritual. I've discussed it with several highly esteemed experts in magic, and I'm inclined to consider this a reliable weapon. We can use the ritual to lure the entity out, bind it, probably exterminate it. But to do that, I'll need your assistance, Commander. What do we need to do? We must carefully prepare the ritual, and then bring Count Arenday to the designated location. The ritual will lure out the Other, weaken its connection with the Count, and bind its essence to our world like an anchor. The last part is especially important. All the evidence indicates that while the gateway is active, the Other can travel freely between the material plane and some unknown space that lies beyond. If we fail to bind the Other with the ritual, it will either escape, or in the worst-case scenario, drag us into its realm. Hence, we must lure it out, and then, I suppose, defeat it. There is one more issue, aside from the fact that we'll have to fight this incredibly powerful and horrifying creature. The Other's suspicion must not be aroused until the very last moment. That means that the Count must know nothing as well. The best course of action would be to take the Count to the designated location without telling him the reason for the journey. Then we must frighten him, make it appear that his life is in danger. The Other will believe that its gateway is in peril, and then, I hope, it will show up to protect it. The ritual circle will work as a trap, but it is crucial, and I stress this, that we convince the entity that we know nothing of its existence, that it is Dayren who is in danger, not the entity itself. Otherwise, there is no knowing what may happen. I don't want to give the adversary any chance to outmaneuver us. Why do you think the Other will appear to protect Dayren? The Count has been in danger many times before, and nothing special has ever happened. You had a special connection with your companions, Commander. You shared part of your mythic powers with them. They journeyed through the abyss with you and survived to tell the tale. I believe that the Other understands this. It also must understand how dangerous it would be if you were to become not a benefactor, but an enemy to its gateway. I am certain that it will react to a threat coming from you, as opposed to ordinary encounters with demons and cultists. Oh. Oh, cry. Ooh. How dangerous is it? It is extremely dangerous, which is why I have come to you with this. All the evidence I have collected on the Other, in particular the lists of its victims, which include powerful demons and strong mortal mages, makes me certain that we are dealing with something extraordinary here. It is stronger and more dangerous than Baldur's and other generals of the Abyss. I also suspect that the oracle powers the Count has developed come from the other. As a rule, only gods, imperial lords, and other extremely powerful beings are capable of granting such abilities. I know no one, except for you, who could challenge such an entity. So I'm asking you for help, for the safety of all who dwell on Golarion. However, I believe that we can shore up our strategic position if the other doesn't suspect we're preparing a trap until the very last moment. Even the most dangerous of creatures can become more vulnerable when caught off guard. The main thing we must do is to take a methodical approach and stay alert. I think that is within our abilities. Are you sure this other is hostile towards us? In all this time, it's never tried to attack me. I am certain that this entity is dark and truly evil. The evidence and my instincts as an Inquisitor are undeniable. Wherever the other manifests itself, strange and ominous things begin to happen. In particular, I am positive that it is responsible for all the magically decapitated corpses. The ones that were found in Heaven's Edge after the tragedy, and Canabras after Scari's attack. In both places, some of the corpses belonged to civilians and others to demons, and in Canabras, some of the victims were cultists. I am convinced that the other is pursuing some interest of its own, and thus far it has ruthlessly exterminated any who learn of its existence. And now, you and I know that it exists. Draw your own conclusions. If Daverin is the gateway, can't we just slam this gateway shut and leave the other on the other side? We can, by killing the Count. The Inquisitor answers simply. But firstly, I'm not sure that the other won't try to protect its gateway, and in that case, we would have to face it unprepared. And secondly, I am opposed to the idea in principle. Sometimes Inquisitors must make hard decisions. I have made a great many in my lifetime. For instance, I can kill a person possessed by demons, if he or she is an imminent risk to taking many lives, and I have no time to perform an exorcism. But in this instance, the situation is not so critical. We have a way of fighting the other. I will not agree to commit cold-blooded murder, not even the murder of someone as disgraceful as Count Arenday. Ooh. Yeah, I'm down. I'll help you. Thank you. Now let's go over the entire operation once more. I'm convinced that we must lure out the other somewhere far from Dresden and other populated places to avoid civilian casualties. I've chosen a suitable location within the World Wound. I'll mark it on your map. You must bring the Count there without alerting him to what's about to happen. I assume that another foray into the World Wound will hardly raise his suspicions. I will wait for you there, with the ritual circle prepared. But, before we reach the crucial moment, you must make the Count and the other believe that the Count is in danger. I suppose the easiest way to do that would be to tell him that you made a deal with the Mindev Inquisition, and the Count will have to face punishment for his crimes, real or imaginary. I'll find a way to intimidate him, but you must play along. We need to provoke the other to come out to protect its gateway. That's when we finish it off, once and for all. This case will be my greatest triumph or my greatest failure, but I firmly believe that it must be done. Remember my words. The other must be convinced that we are not a threat to the Count, and that we know nothing. The other must be convinced that we are not a threat to the Count, and that we know nothing of its existence. The slightest suspicion could prove fatal for us. Until we meet again, Commander, may the gods be with us. Man, that is some stacked shenaniganry. We have so much going on right now. Oh, God, no. A pale, ghostly image appears in front of you. You recognize Lathamus the Antiquarian, the scholar you helped some time ago. His translucent form flickers intermittently, and you have difficulty making out his words. Commander, it's Lathamus. Won't be maintained. Spell for long. The door. Treasure room. Please hurry. What door? What are you talking about? Door to the dragon burial ground. Bell. Caves. Remember? You managed to open the door? Yes. Won't enter. Without you. Waiting on your help. I'm on my way. Please. Okay, gotcha. It's everything. It's everything all at once. What? Uh-oh. Swarm Mythic Path. Uh-oh. Melissa. Commander, you look up and see Melissa, the green-eyed fisherwoman from the village of Chili Creek. Markel's sister, yes. Her hair is a mess, and her face and clothes are covered in soot. It looks as though she has traveled here in a hurry and met with a few dangers along the way. Help. Please help me. He's gone crazy. He will kill him. What happened? He remembers Jernal, the cleric who came to our village a year ago. She, I bet, got invested with Jernal, and now her brother is going to kill him. The locals weren't very welcoming to him back then. After all, he was a stranger who was preaching about a strange new god. Little by little, he became one of us. Went fishing alongside us. He told people stories about the crusade. He told us about meeting you and seeing the queen. Songs he used to sing. It made you want to stop and listen. Eventually, we became very close. We started to plan a wedding. My brother didn't seem to mind at first, but after we got married, that's when he lost it. He became violent. He threatened to hurt us. I tried to talk to him, but... Melissa shakes her head sadly. He even thought about leaving the village, but when my brother found out, he lost his mind completely. Markel is strong. No one else in the village dares to challenge him. It's a miracle that I managed to escape. My husband is still there. He didn't make it out of the village. I don't know what's happened to him. Help us, please. Caused this change in Markel's behavior. Markel, he really honors the village traditions. We've been worshipping the river for many generations. He was not keen on having the cleric of a foreign god in the village, but he was willing to tolerate Jernal's presence for a while. However, my relationship with Jernal really disappointed Markel, especially when he discovered I had begun to worship Erastil too. Oh no! You done fucked up! How'd you get here? By some miracle, I guess. Everything is on fire out there, and all these monsters. Never mind me, I managed to survive. I made it here in one piece. I'm in serious trouble. I have no one I can turn to for aid. Please help me. You're my only hope. Obi-Wan. Alright. I'll help you. Thank you. I'll head back to the village. I'll do my best to keep him from flying into a rage, but please hurry. I'm afraid he might do something terrible. God damn. God damn. We got so much stuff happening. Holy crap. Alright. Clearly we got a lot on our plate. I bet before we leave the city we're going to have even more. But we will have to figure that out next time. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed. We will see you next time for more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Bye-bye, everybody. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.